Hey, it's JC1424 once again with NASCAR 07, and in this episode of our season as Hendrick Motorsports, we're going to be completing race 11 of 36, which is the Dodge Charger 500 at Darlington Raceway. If I'm correct, we do come back here for a second race, don't we? And it's also a night race, but that is the Southern 500, or maybe this is because it's a 500, and they just call it the Dodge Charger 500 in here. I have no idea, but I remember because in NASCAR 2005 Chase of the Cup, they've got two Darlington races, and one of them is like the second last for the season. This game has like the same schedule and roster as NASCAR PSP, and I recall going here twice during my seasons on that game. But in the last episode, we raced at Richmond, and we got Brian Vickers his second win of the season. And he's still 8th place in points, but he is right behind Greg Biffle, so we could see him passing Greg Biffle after doing this race. We just got to get him to finish up there. Jeff Gordon, I want to finish well with him too, because he's 5th. That's not where I want him to be. But Kyle Busch, Jimmie Johnson, they're tied for the points lead right now. After Jimmie Johnson, we got him up there, and we got past Kyle Busch, but I mean Kyle Busch, he didn't finish badly enough to just not be right next to him. So, Jimmie Johnson missed pit road in the last episode. This car is weird. I'm trying to turn off the mirror, and the steering is kind of being like oddly unresponsive. Okay, well, Greg Biffle, the only driver aside from the 4 drivers of my team to have won a race this season, is up front right now. That's actually quite shocking. We have complete 10 races in this season, and the only winners are Jimmie Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch, and Brian Vickers, and then Greg Biffle and like some race. I don't remember which one it was. Was like Texas? I don't remember. Wait, no. We tried to beat Greg Biffle at Atlanta. So yeah, Alexis. Atlanta is pretty close to Texas, so it makes sense. I mean, as far as like the track shape and the type, same length and stuff. So, this track is very hard to drive at. I learned that earlier whenever I was practicing here. Like my car, you have to mash the brakes if you come in from the bottom. Like it's so easy to find a corner incomplete. So I'm kind of scared to drive with another driver on my team. I don't know how bad their car is going to be. But I've really got to mash the brakes if I want to hold the bottom. And whenever I start touching a car like that, that does not help because you get stuck to them. Oh my goodness. Well, at least none of my drivers are starting back here, like right in front of me. At least no one important. I mean, I think I wouldn't mind if Kyle Busch like started in the middle of the field because he's right there next to Jimmie Johnson. But I mean, if you didn't notice, 3rd place in the point standings, that is not a driver of my team, is like 34 points back. I think that's what it was. So yeah, I mean, they start closing in on us with all the crap going on the past couple of races. I'm just on the apron. I don't know why. I don't know how we got down here, but that's cool. Greg Biffle is just holding that lead. Kevin Harvick is blocking me. Well, I was thinking about going 3 wide with this Kevin Harvick as a driver. Yep, there we go. There we go. Ugh. Okay, and no contact was made. Never mind. He got into him, and then that set the whole field back behind us. I mean, look at that. I thought I saw something in the mirror. I'm not even trying to turn the mirror on half the time. It just goes on, and then it goes off, and then it goes on, and then it goes off. It has something to do with the fact that the analog stick is, if you press the analog stick like inward into the controller, that's what turns it on and off. And sometimes I'm trying to steer so hard that that's what happens. It's very annoying. I mean, I dealt with that all the freaking time in NASCAR 06, and I think like one other game, I don't remember which one that would be though. Looks like Robbie Gordon and Jeremy Mayfield just kind of got crushed into the wall a little bit. We're still making it 3 wide. It's a miracle that I'm managing to learn from the practice I got with this freaking car to use the brakes a lot. Okay, slid up in front of Robbie Gordon. And see, they made it off that corner 3 wide without wrecking, so I don't know what Kevin Harvick and the fantasy driver thing was. So I see Jeff Gordon and Brian Vickers in front of us running about midfield. So that really puts a challenge for us because I want Brian Vickers to finish good. I want Jeff Gordon to finish good. I also want Jimmie Johnson to win this race, by the way. The thing is, I don't know if I should be aiming to get Jimmie Johnson the win in this case, because whenever we go to Dover, that's like one of Jimmie Johnson's best tracks, and I should aim to win there. Oh my god, I'm getting so tight. I want Dover to be a collab video with a certain big Jimmie Johnson fan, not Michael Moose, because we already did a Dover collab in NASCAR 08 with him. So it'll be a surprise when he gets there. But maybe I should just aim to win this race with somebody else. Like, I don't know, Brian Vickers. Brian Vickers going back to back. Who knows? We are 9 laps into this race. We are almost a third into this race, and we're only in 20th place. This track is significantly harder than all the other ones we've raced out up until this point on the schedule. If you want my honest opinion, I don't think we've had a race that's been this difficult yet. And with these drivers in my team running middle of the field, the ones that I'm the most concerned with right now, it doesn't help. We are halfway on field. When did it put that on? Was that like last lap? Let me think. 9. I think we're barely gonna make it to the end of the race if we like let this go out as long as it can. And we probably run out of gas at like lap 15 or lap 14. I have no idea. Because the halfway point was like lap 9. Yeah, so I think we'll be okay. But you know, with the AI, if the fuel's cutting it that close, yeah, there they go. Oh my God, what was that? That was interesting. I was thinking they might start pitting because of like the way the fuel is. Like we're in the orange and it's lap 11. Because it's probably gonna start flashing like red and stuff like that in a couple laps. I want to let this go as far as it can go. See, Brian Vickers and Kyle Busch have gone down, so I probably should just switch to Jeff Gordon. I can't switch to Jeff Gordon. He's going down pit road. Fine, we'll take a green flag pit stop, which is something that we actually haven't done with the driver we're racing as at all this season. I don't think we've ever done that this season. We've had like pit stops under caution, but it's just taking us forever to get to the field. And yeah, now it's flashing and shit. Yeah, so yeah, it's a 2 pit stop race. It's flat out a 2 pit stop race. All these guys are going down pit road. This is going to be interesting. Let's not spin the car doing this. I think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay. Just don't speed in. That was a fantastic pit road entry, and that is the first one that we've had this season. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, there's no damage to repair. I cannot believe I did not just wreck the car on the apron right there. Like, if you do get a good corner entry from where you want it, you'll accidentally touch the apron and you'll start getting loose like crazy. But if you're entering from the bottom because there's a car on your outside going to the corner, specifically turn 3, then you barely make it and almost go crashing into the wall unless you match the brakes and then you don't hit the car on the outside of you or something. Okay. Did I just see... Does it say Hitachi or does it say Hibachi? I don't know. I get a logo on this car. I didn't know that this car had that sponsor on it. So after pit stops, it seems we are in 10th. 11th. Brian Vickers is in 11th. Okay. That's good progress. He must have had a good pit stop because he wasn't ahead of Kyle Busch before that all went down. Alright, so 14th after pit stops. We got good pit crews. Where's Jeff Gordon? Is that Jeff Gordon? I can't get off the wall. We had to get the Darlington stripe. It's not like we're Jimmie Johnson, 3-time NASCAR champion or anything. I mean, I think he became a 3-time champion after this game was released. Is that correct? I don't remember. Well, yeah, let's keep being on the move. Let's try to get Jimmie Johnson up there, and then we'll switch back to Brian Vickers. And I guess we'll just kind of have it like a roll of the dice. Jimmie Johnson or Brian Vickers. One of them's going to win it, because there's no way that I couldn't just get up there with one of my drivers and win this race. Oh my gosh. I mean, if you think that the gameplay is bad whenever I turn the mirror on, and the frame rate drops whenever I turn the mirror on, and it's bad, then you should look at the mirror itself whenever I put it on. Like, the frame rate of the mirror, it like takes some of the frames. But of course, there's still so many frames left in the regular gameplay. So it's basically the mirror is like not even 10 frames per second from the looks of it. I'm trying, Brian Vickers. This track is, I don't know if it's the hardest to race in this game. It's not a road course or anything. And I don't even remember how the road courses drive in this game, but should be easier than NASCAR 06. And although in NASCAR 6 the road courses were the kind of tracks you could race at with the driving aids off, you just had to be very diligent. I mean, they were still very, very difficult tracks. I mean, considering you could use them without the driving aids, it's what made them like the most difficult tracks to race in that game. Because if you even bother trying to race at like regular speedways and all kinds of stuff in NASCAR 06 with the driving aids off, the car just could not do it. You saw that whenever I ran the qualifying runs without them on, just so I could have it some challenging qualifying. And it damn near always was. Oh my goodness. I'm trying not to hit you, but it's a very specified corner entry. So we're up to 6. That is nice. Greg Biffle has just been dominating this race. Okay, past Dale Earnhardt Jr. Bobby Labonte have another good run. He'll still be in the top 5 after I pass him. Oh God! Okay, JC, you're overreacting. I'm just turning my ass to get away from Bobby Labonte, but when the corner's over, I'm trying not to cut his nose off into the outside wall so hard that I get loose and dive off the track. So, now I guess we're all taking pit stops under the caution. They'd probably say like your crew chief recommends that you pit. Yeah. Well, I mean, if my crew chief says so, I'm supposed to do what my crew chief tells me. Chad Knaus, gotta do what he tells you. We're gonna pair that damage because we have damage. You get to watch 2 pit stops in this race. This will probably actually make it easier to get Jimmie Johnson and Brian Vickers a chance to win this race, considering the fact that the fields may all group back together. We're all in the lead lap. No one had taken their second pit stop yet. I am probably going to lose positions during this stop right here, comparing the damage, because it went from like 15.3 to 16.6. We're going fast, no mistakes. Good. Damage repaired. Okay, so that was about... Well, I mean, it didn't matter. No one got past us after that, but we had to wait for the guy. Yeah, it was still 0.3 seconds faster than what it was expected. It's just this Richard Petty fancy driver guy pulled in front of us, and Jimmie Johnson, he couldn't mentally handle that. We got Greg Biffle and Matt Kenseth 1 and 2 right now. That is a beauty, because that's realistic, and I like that. Oh my God, it is so hard to not oversteer, and you try to fix that, and you just go driving up the track. Okay, well, they had a great restart, so let's catch up to them. I'm going. This track has a very platinum look to it in this game, mainly because of the lights, but if you were to come here during the daytime, which you can do if you unlock it, the chase plate or whatever it is, then it looks a lot like it does in like NASCAR Thunder 2004. But I mean, the lights shine on it, and the whole damn thing is silver platinum looking. I'm trying to get this lead. Matt Kenseth is running the middle at Darlington. No one runs the middle at Darlington. What are you? What even are you right now? I can see why Greg Biffle has been able to lead this race, because Matt Kenseth is being a dickhead. I mean, Greg Biffle's blocking me. I'm going to go to the outside, and then diving into turn 1. And finally, new leader here at Darlington. Call it the Lady in Black, and I don't know why, because the pavement is so silver, and then the only thing that's black is the sky right now. So, let's get back to... I want to say Joe Nemechek, but his name is Brian Vickers. Why? I don't know. I'm not going to take control until we get off the corner, because if you try taking control in the middle of the corner, the game just fucking pisses in your ass. Stupid. Oh, this is Brian Vickers, JC. His car's not going to just work. What are you, stupid? This car is not going to just work. It might be very, very difficult to win this race with this guy, given the fact that this car is so tight. Fine, we will not win as Brian Vickers. Jimmie Johnson will. Fuck. I've been having a very, very difficult time driving this car. It does not want to do anything, and that is annoying. There's Jeff Gordon up there. We're going to switch Jimmie Johnson before he gets to the start-finish line. So we get to celebrate as he gets his 3rd win of the season. Once again, we're not going to be racing Jeff Gordon to victory lane anytime soon, because of course he went back-to-back on accident with the Phoenix race that I was trying to win with Kyle Busch a while back. Yeah, I should have spent like all race trying to get Brian Vickers to win, considering the fact that his car is that bad. Take my time to get used to it and then win the darn thing. Greg Biffle gave me a run for my money, but I gave him a run for his money and he couldn't get his money. Well, Jeff Gordon still finished 7th, so I guess that's good for him in the points. But I mean, with all these other drivers around him and finishing ahead of him in this race, I'm pretty sure he's still not actually getting anywhere. So, we'll do some donuts on the start-finish line. Some darling donuts. Darling donut! Why did this happen? How did this happen? What? Everything's falling apart! But Jimmie Johnson is still our points leader. It's just Kyle Busch has fallen into 4th, Jeff Gordon has fallen into 6th, and Brian Vickers, he's not getting anywhere. And I try to work with Brian Vickers every single race. It's like we gain a little points, but we don't gain a position. And it's because drivers like Kurt Busch, Greg Biffle, Matt Kenseth, and Ryan Newman, they are always up front. They always qualify up front, and my drivers don't. Jimmie Johnson, of course, but I'm not concerned with him. I start in last place with him every race, and he's in the points lead, and he has been for almost every race of the season, except for one. And that was just a couple episodes ago. But, I mean, these guys, you figure my performance with them, my wins with them, would rub off and cause them to all start in the top 10 for one race. Just one race. Like, why is this not possible? Like, I should be giving them momentum with my performance. Like, why is that not in the game? I feel like that was in NASCAR 06. But in the next episode, we're going to be doing the Coca-Cola 600, race 12 of 36, which is going to be at Lowe's Motor Speedway, of course, now known as Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is the big Memorial Day weekend event. It's like the second most important race of the season behind the Daytona 500, of course. Well, I guess we'll try to win that race with Kyle Busch, and then we'll save like the Pocono race for Brian Vickers, because I don't want to win a race like this with Brian Vickers. That's just stupid. But I do want to get Jimmie Johnson's 4th win of the season at Dover, race 13, which is the Bank of America 400 or whatever that is right there. See you next time. That's that, and episode over.